Welcome to Kiddo and Janko Wednesdays at Lunch, Burger Edition. This week we went up to the Mile End and went to a little place called Nouveau Palais. This was actually a suggestion from one of our listeners, Kristen Theodore.
Two claps for Kristen Theodore.
2 claps.
The first of your name to choose a place for us.
The first of your name? Oh, the first Kristen to choose?
Well, I was going to say the first person, but Kevin Agostino kind of chose a place for us.
That's right. The first listener suggestion as opposed to guest suggestion.
Yeah. But first of your name, it's a credit that is hers, but
also the first time the name Kristen has been spoken on this podcast. Actually, no. Did we talk about Kristen Bell yet?
Kristen Bell? No.
No, that may have been edited out. No. Kristen, I'm sorry. You're probably the second Kristen mentioned on this show. So we went to Nouveau Palais. I know them for their Winneburger, their food truck that drives around. It's a Winnebago that serves hamburgers.
Yes, you have mentioned Winneburger.
Before today?
In the first episode, we were talking about burgers we can eat in the summer.
Oh, there we go.
So this is one of them then.
This is one of them. They've got food truck. As far as I know, the burgers of the same caliber. And we went up to the Mile End today to go and have a burger. Matthew, initial thoughts on Nouveau Palais?
Well, I thought it was a little far. And, after last week, didn't know if I thought I was out of the burger game.
Woody, oh, that's true. Do you want to?
Yeah. I thought that I finally had the poison burger, the 1 point burger. I thought that had finally found its way into my belly.
It's interesting because you had eaten the burger, you gave it quite a good review, as I recall, and then you were out of commission for like 2 days.
Oh yeah, I was ready to rip that away this time.
Do you want to explain to the listeners what you went through?
I don't even know. I just probably 3-4 hours after that burger, 5 maybe. Some pretty horrible pains, pretty horrible stomach pains. Good, threw up a good 10 times.
Oh.
After 2 times, there's nothing left.
Yeah, pretty much.
That burger was an 8 going down, not an 8 coming up.
Oof.
No.
Did you enjoy the barbecue sauce coming back up, that smoky barbecue sauce?
It was probably the worst thing about throwing that burger up.
Oh.
So all the best things going down, they were not as advantageous on the way back.
That sounds awful.
Yep.
And I know I'd texted you the next day about the show, and I was you mentioned you asked if I was feeling sick about it. I was like, well, I had maybe an uneasy stomach for a couple hours the evening of eating it, just because it was a really big barbecue saucy kind of spicy burger. All that stuff was settling around in my stomach, but it wasn't that bad. You were out of commission for a few days. Did you eat anything else? Because Dane didn't have any problems either. I'm wondering if it's maybe something else you eat, or maybe it was just this burger disagreeing with you.
Nah, it was just my body, I think. I think there's a little bit of a flu thing going around, but when I found out that you were fine, I just groaned and rolled over. I was hoping you'd be like, yeah, I've been throwing up. I was hoping I'd hear that Dane was just, toilet to tub.
Oh, that's.
But I mean, no, you guys were fine. Dane was posting pictures. You were, you were talking to me.
Yeah,
I couldn't. I just couldn't live.
I see, and first of all, fuck you for wishing ill upon me and Dane.
It was solidarity is what I was going for.
No, you were hoping that we had solidarity with you and that we got sick to our stomachs to soothe your soul. But now you were wishing ill upon us. That's not cool.
How didn't you? You were so close to me. We were talking from inches apart.
That's true. I don't know. Maybe you just got one of those like bugs or a 24-hour flu. Is there still a cat living in your closet? Is he pooping in there?
No cat.
All right, so I don't know what else happened. Okay, so having gotten over last week's 24-hour flu or bug or I don't know, virus,
some anomaly.
Yeah. Maybe you were possessed by a demon that could only exit through vomiting. Who knows? A lot of options. All equally possible.
No.
So what was your initial reaction once you got into a new burger place, a new restaurant, the smells wafting up into your nose? Did you feel sick to your stomach right away?
I didn't, but I did in the back of my mind. Definitely, I was like, what is this going to be like?
And then
in a few hours,
we were waved over to a seat. We got a booth. We had a sit down. Immediately, there was a stuffed deer staring you down.
Oh yeah, unnerving.
Did he? Yeah, so that was unnerving. Didn't make you upset your stomach, just unnerving.
Yeah, it was. There was some bad juju going on in that place as soon as we got in there because apparently there was a fox behind me that I didn't even know was staring me down.
He was looking at the back of your head. You had a couple stuffed animals just staring you down. I don't know why. Maybe it's just like the angles of where you sat down. Maybe they saw you when we came in. They were like, "We're gonna let him sit down in the animal stare zone."
Yeah, we'll mess with this guy because that deer or whatever that was looking at me was not just. It wasn't just on. It was protruding out of the wall, and then its neck was turned. Like it had purpose and staring you down. So, yeah.
Interesting that you mentioned its neck because you were complaining about sore neck today. Do you think maybe that bad juju gave you a sore neck?
No.
All right.
I had the sore neck coming in.
Okay, you shot me down on that. Okay, just checking. Maybe a stuffed deer put a deer curse on you.
There's a lot of connections. A lot of connections to trying to make me have a bad time with this place, but I didn't have a bad time. Had a good burger, had a good time.
I mean, I like that neighborhood. As we were walking through, I was, it'd been a little while that I hadn't been up there. Enjoying the little neighborhood, looking at other places we could potentially get burgers in the future. Don't get too excited, not yet. It's going to be a while. And then we got to Nouveau Palais, and as I walked in, a flash came to me. I was like, "Oh, I've been here before." It was years ago.
Yeah, you almost fell over.
Oh, I had a vision. I traveled back in time for a moment to maybe 5 years ago, where I was up at a party in that neighborhood and very, very drunk by something like 3 a.m. And I was lured away by the promise of tacos. That place, Nouveau Palais, Grumman 78, I think the number is, a well-known Montreal taco joint. That's changed locations a couple times over the past 5 years. Originally ran their restaurant out of Nouveau Palais in the after hours. So they'd open at like midnight and close at like 4 a.m. just for people leaving bars who want to grab a taco on the way home or sit down and have a taco. So I recall vaguely, because I was pretty drunk that night, going and getting a taco, and it was just like, wait, this place looks like that place. Could this place be? A little research, it is. So I had been there, hadn't eaten anything off of Nouveau Palais' menu until today.
What a transformation that place has gone through then.
Well, I mean, it kind of all stayed the same. It was just at night they served tacos.
It's a weird
with a different staff.
It's like it messes with people because people probably wander in much like you did, and then they remember, I had tacos last night. It's like, where? And there's this place. This place doesn't serve tacos. And they go back and it's like, I'm sure I had tacos last night, sir. And he would just, because at a certain point, it changes over. Menus are different.
They don't even know.
Food, kitchen staff, maybe.
Exactly.
Everything's different. So it's just messing with people. They can't remember.
I actually even saw some reviews online that were like, I guess they don't serve tacos anymore, but...
It's like, they do. You just have to go in at 3 a.m.
Not anymore. It's a different place. Those Grumman people aren't there anymore.
Okay.
They have their own restaurant now. It's in this neighborhood, actually. Well,
they're not doing a restaurant timeshare?
No, not anymore. I think that was a way to get started.
No.
Get their foot in the door.
Yeah.
Anyway. So we went in, we sat down, looked at the menu, and I panicked for a second. I didn't see the burger. I was like, wait a second, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Matthew spotted the burger. Wasn't complicated. There's one burger on the menu. You have a bacon add-on for like $1.50, a cheese add-on for like $1. Comes with fries, coleslaw, and a pickle. That's always a nice thing.
You love pickles.
I do. A good pickle. Not any old pickle, but a good pickle.
No.
And it was just like a quarter pickle, actually. A quarter of a big pickle.
Yeah.
That whole pickle would have been too much pickle. Before we even got to order, though, I was shaking around.
Yeah.
And it wasn't as you might imagine with excitement and energy.
No, I remember this was not.
I was looking around going, what's going on? My bench is vibrating. Your bench was vibrating too. And we're looking around the restaurant going like, hold on. Is it the people on the opposite bench just across from us? Does someone got some real bad Jimmy legs? Those people got up, still shaking.
Yeah.
I couldn't deal with it. I'm looking all over. wondering who is making my bench shake from like far away or something. Someone's got some mad ass Jimmy legs.
You see, yeah, you were acting like a tyrant.
Like a tyrant?
Yeah,
I figured more paranoid than anything.
Well, maybe, but it was like if I catch who's got these wild Jimmy legs, they're gonna lose those legs.
I said no such thing.
You didn't.
I was probably closer. I was basically saying maybe we'll just change seats because I don't know who's shaking it and I don't know if I can give him a look. Let's just forget about it.
No, because you were sitting in there and you felt a little jiggle. I felt minor tremors, like aftershocks of the lowest form. Whereas, like, I didn't even know if I felt anything, but I did feel you reenacting all of the shakes.
Oh, I did. Like, I did retaliate a couple times where I was like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna shake. I'm gonna shake back. How you like that shake?"
Yeah.
It didn't. I mean, it actually stopped for most of the meal, and then by the time the meal was done, it kicked back in again. So I don't know who to blame, what to blame. Maybe I was distracted by the food. I doubt it.
I think you just needed food to not feel the shaking, but I'm sure the shaking was going on. I just don't think it was ever as bad as you said. I think the worst I ever felt was you retaliated.
My retaliation.
And if anything, maybe that's what other people felt. And then
maybe you got just caught in the crosshairs of a Jimmy Leg battle.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know if there's anyone else even attached to the benches. There's one guy sitting behind me. He looked pretty peaceful.
Yeah, I don't think he was doing anything. I'm still suspecting was the person sort of behind me and to my left. This is going too in depth on these Jimmy legs.
I thought we'd have to leave the restaurant. I thought it was going to be,
No, I was thinking about changing seats, but not. I mean, to a different empty booth.
No, but the mood you were in was the kind of mood where you're going to feel tremors wherever you are. This whole place is crumbling down, and you're not having it. Anyway,
okay,
it subsided.
They had decent music there. I like the decor. It's all wooden. It's like a nice old neighborhood diner. Their sign is so old. They got dead animals hanging out there. The music choice was very eclectic, I noticed. It would go from like an 80s hit to Kanye West to straight up classic jazz and back to pop. It was all over the place, but I liked it.
Oh, it was good. I heard some. They were talking about. Was it Kanye West was singing about Russells?
Yeah. I'm not familiar with his work enough to know the song where he mentions Russell Brand and Kurt Russell and some other Russell. I was not familiar with that song.
See, I was thinking when you said Russells, I was like, oh, he's singing about potatoes, Russell potatoes. But then I realized just now, I think they're russet potatoes.
Yes, that's correct. You were like, oh yeah, Russell potatoes. I was like, oh, I don't know that one. It is russet. That does ring a bell. Russell potatoes is just a man with an unfortunate last name.
I was ready to like Kanye West if I knew he had a whole song about potatoes, especially the Russells. But the russets, whatever. He's not singing about Yukon Golds.
You don't know that. You haven't listened to Life of Pablo, his latest album.
I feel like Yukon Gold could be a title. Of one of the songs.
It would be a good title.
Yeah.
So, Matthew, when those burgers landed in front of us, and actually, I want to commend you, Matthew.
Yeah.
You did what you may have never done before in preparation for this show. You ordered a burger, and you said, no tomatoes.
Yeah.
Have you done that yet?
Then this is the first time.
The first time that you go to the trouble of saying no tomatoes.
Yeah.
Woo!
Thank you. It was nice. It was nice to not have to do some, minor surgery on that burger when I got it.
Surgery is a really big term for removing a tomato from a hamburger.
To remove the
Okay, let's just a surgeon would be very insulted.
It's the tumor of the burger world.
It's not a tumor.
It was. Well, there was nothing. It was gone.
So that when that bad boy landed in front of you, and it had no tomatoes in it, what was your initial reaction?
It looked delightful. The bun was this weird. I can't even describe it. It had shape. It had fluffiness to it.
It looked like a home baked burger